Grab your coffee. It's the Morning Pulse, where we take a pulse of what's happening in hospital medicine. I'm Lisa. So today we're going to discuss growth. Your group has grown, but has the way you operated kept pace with the growth? Chances are your hospitalist group has grown and grown fast over the past few years. So let me ask you, does it feel like you're a step behind, hitting the same operational problems day to day and unsure where to focus first? If any of this sounds familiar, you're in good company. What's actually happening with group size is real and sustained growth. The Society of Hospital Medicine's data over the past 5 years has shown that adult hospital medicine groups are now averaging about 27 FTEs, so full-time equivalents. And that's not actual head count. So the group size is actually going to be bigger when we factor in part-time and per diems. Of the 5-year data, they tracked 62 groups, and 48 of those grew by approximately 40%. So that's real growth, and growth is a good thing. And just to clarify, this isn't, growth due to turnover. It's actually increased headcount or increase in FTEs. And what's driving that is, it's demand. We're providing great care. We're covering more patients and sicker patients. So the higher census and higher acuity patients require us to have more providers. I believe growth is going to continue. Outside of patients, of course, being, sicker in the hospital, I think a bigger reason is challenges with throughput. Patients are medically ready to leave the hospital, but, they really may not have anywhere to go. SNF beds are challenged to find and get, admissions. So length of stay naturally creeps up. And so your daily census is going to climb, even if admissions are flat. Also, hospital medicines are getting wider scope. We're seeing more of the subspecialists or being the primary admitters for subspecialists. So I don't think any of this is going to reverse. So I think today's size or census is our new baseline. It's not a peak. And I think that's why it's really worth looking at the operational model right now and not after we start seeing the next round of growth. Where the growth actually strains is in 4 areas of operations. First one, I think, is daily patient assignments. They tend to, as growth happens, the patient assignments can get lopsided, and continuity, which we all know is incredibly important, breaks. The next thing I think is leadership. We need to plan for increased leadership. One lead provider or even one medical director as you grow, just can't track every provider and ensure that all the patient issues are addressed appropriately. I think the next one is onboarding. Onboarding by osmosis, it doesn't work the larger we get. And then finally, I think tracking metrics becomes increasingly more challenged, and we will start losing visibility into how the group and the individuals are performing. What each of these should look like instead, and these are just my suggestions, on patient assignment, my suggestion is use defined rules-based method that clearly outlines how patients are split between physicians and APPs. And again, making sure that continuity is primary, keeping this, because we know, keeping patients with the same provider, the evidence is consistent, fewer handoffs means shorter length of stay. On leadership, I would ensure that the leaders have protected time, meaning that they're not carrying a patient load. And as your group grows, maybe look to see if you need a physician administrator dyad. Also, as you grow, are you ready for a lead APP? For onboarding, I suggest building a very structured onboarding ramp. Defining what's going to happen in the first few weeks, setting them up with a mentor, increasing census gradually so that new providers can reach full speed in weeks and not months. And then finally, on tracking metrics, the big ones, following your length of stay, discharge timing, and throughput, not only at a group level, but at a provider level, and use those metrics in order to coach early. If I could only start with one, I'd start with the leadership layer because I think it unlocks the rest. If your medical director is still personally holding all of this, do they actually have the hours in their day to redesign any of this? If you free it up and the assignment work, the onboarding, and the metrics become somebody's job, you don't have to do it all at once, but that's where I would start. Well, that's the pulse for today. If your group has grown and you're feeling the same challenges, you're not alone. It is fixable. So we'd love to hear how you approach it. Drop it in the comments, and I'll see you next time.